lost additional time or something like that. Sometimes we would cook. He comes home earlier than I do, so he would throw chicken breast, pork chops, what else did he make? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Another fun-filled day here with Life According to Maria. In this episode, I'm going to try to explain to you what I have been doing lately as far as my diet or lifestyle food choices are concerned. I don't want to call it a diet, but lifestyle food choices are concerned. So let's get at it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Life According to Maria. I hope that you join me here for a few minutes as I discuss my lifestyle and healthy lifestyle choices this week. I'm going to take a swig of my vitamin water, not sponsored. I'm just thirsty. I've been doing videos today all day. And I think my throat's starting to get a little dry, so I might as well just, take a swig. In some of my videos, at least one of them that I recall, I was talking to you guys, and in fact, I was in my car while I was talking to you, and I said that I would kind of get back to you guys about some of the changes that I am making in my diet, in my food routine. And I have made these choices, and I have taken time to see how my body is reacting to those choices, if you understand where I'm coming from. Because you can't just make a choice and say, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and then come on here and talk about it like, oh, this is great, or this is this, or this is that, without taking the time for your body to adjust and get used to what type of changes you are doing as far as your diet is concerned. So usually you have to take about a month or more for these changes to take effect. I've been doing what I'm doing currently for the past, I would say, at least 2 to 3 months, if not more. And I've seen a lot of positive changes in my body. And I wanted to tell that to you guys. And again, I'm not, A, I'm not sponsored. B, I'm not a medical doctor or, licensed nutritionist, but I do believe in a very, very healthy, clean lifestyle, a clean lifestyle of eating, a clean lifestyle of what I'm drinking, and a clean lifestyle of not smoking and very minimal on my alcoholic beverages. And like everyone else, I love me a good glass of wine with my dinner. During the holidays, I will go ahead and have a martini. I will have a cocktail. But those are certain times that I do it, and I don't do it daily because of what I'm about to tell you. Not for, moral reasons or biblical reasons or anything like that. It's basically because what I choose to put in my body or not, okay? So let's get to it. We've got a lot of things to cover, and I do want you guys to leave me comments below on what you have been doing or not doing, what you agree with or don't agree with. I'd love to hear from you guys, and the only way we'll have this discourse is by opening this door up to discussions about our food choices. And let me start off by saying there are people, and a lot of people out there that take a lot of time, and I'm trying to phrase this. A huge part of their life, a huge part of their waking hours are thinking about food. And I'm not one of them. I don't dwell on it. I basically eat to live, and I don't live to eat. And that's the motto that I've lived with for a very, very long time. What I choose to put in my body and when I choose to put it in my body, and where I choose to eat from, is something that I take seriously. I take it seriously for myself, and I take it very seriously for my family. I research a lot of things. I don't just go with one opinion. I talk to my own doctors, of course, and my family practitioners, and I talk to a lot of people that are in the know and you know, understand about nutrition. I go to vitamin stores, health food stores. So most of those people that work there there for a reason. They are passionate about the food choices that they make, and they are very knowledgeable over the years and have gained a lot of wisdom on what to eat, what to stay away from, what should be in moderation. So just to cover that, that's kind of the philosophy and where I'm coming from. A lot of people, obviously, and I'm just going to put it out there, there are people that have issues with food, and either eating a lot of it or too much of it, too much that we need in this modern society. If you're sitting at a desk working for 8 or 10 hours, you don't have to eat like a marathon runner. That's just facts. You know, it's very simple. Calories in versus calories burned equals what you are going to be weighing and looking like. If on the reverse flip side, if you are a marathon runner, or you are very active, gardening or farming, or you know, doing a lot of physical activities, and you hardly eat, there's going to be a flip side and a reversal in that, and you'll be malnourished, you'll be very tired, you won't have the strength or the energy to do your tasks. So in my mind, what you do in your life and what you need to do in your life versus what you eat should be in balance. If you're, you know, if you're active, if you're a young mom and you have kids to take care of, you need energy and fuel, and that comes from your food source. There's no other way to put fuel inside of your body except from the food choices that you make. And again, if you are sedentary, if you are not doing a lot of things, those are choices that you have to make as well for your food. Okay, so I hope everyone's understanding all this. This is not about you should do this or you shouldn't do that, or how could you eat such a thing, or why aren't you eating something. I'm not here to judge anybody's diet. There's a multitude of people on YouTube that swear by a certain type of diet, and you know, there's the paleo diet, and then there's the whole-30 diet, there's the keto diet, there's the low carb, the low fat, the non-fat, the Weight Watchers. There's so many things out there, and not everyone is the same. So what works for one person, because of their lifestyle, because of their activity level, because of their gender, because of their lifestyle, because of their age group, okay, might not work for another type of person that is younger or more or less active or whatever. So, you know, if you have, for example, a low carb diet and you are dang determined to do low carb, okay, don't expect to run a marathon. Don't expect to be in the Olympics. Don't expect to do that. In my mind, your body, now I could be wrong, okay, but in my mind, if you are exerting that much physical energy and endurance, and completely, you know, swimming the English Channel, or running, you know, 20 miles or 30 miles or whatever, you're going to need to carb load. You're going to need to do something, because if you take carbs out of the equation, you're not going to be able to sustain that energy level, okay? And I try to tell people, because they're like, oh my God, those oils are bad. That food is horrible. It has so much fat in it. blah, 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 this has a lot of carbs in it. Not every carb is bad for you. Not every oil is bad for you. You have to take it in context of what you're trying to eat and what you're achieving. There was a lady, and this is God's honest truth. There was a lady who told me in my face, I was having avocados. I was literally cutting up a fresh avocado and scooping it out. One of my favorite things to eat because it's so healthy and it's got a lot of great oils in it, avocado oil in it. It's got the pulp, which is loaded in vitamins, and you know, it's got some carbs, of course, in it. I just love avocados, love them, love them. And I'll tell you the truth. She was a plump lady. She was, you know, she was plump. And I didn't particularly like her as a person, just because of her personality. It had nothing to do with, you know, looks or anything like that. Some people rub you the wrong way, and she was just one of these people that, you know, I want to call them know-it-alls. I'm sure you guys know people like that in your lives. They're know-it-alls and they know better. And when you do anything in front of them, they know better than that. They tell you what's wrong with you, and it's just it's a negative feeling. I don't like negativity like that. You can give constructive criticism in a better delivery, let's just say. But anyway, I digress. So this lady, we were, you know, in a group of people, and I was having my avocado, and I'm nowhere near an overweight person. I'm actually at a very good weight right now for myself, and I was not overweight in those days either, and I pride myself on eating, by the way, foods that are really good for my body and of course good for my skin, which avocados are. And so I'm eating it, and she just looks at me and she goes, "Don't you know how fattening that is? Those are loaded with calories. It's very fattening. That is going to make you gain weight." And I just looked at her, and I go, "Does it look like I'm fat to you? I've been eating avocados for practically my entire life. Do I look like I'm obese?" And she just went, you know, she just shut her mouth. And it's like, you know, stop with your, you know, your judgments and your admonishments and wagging your finger in my face. Just stop. Just look at your house of glass, and you shouldn't be throwing stones at my house, okay? Because you're not qualified to tell me that I shouldn't be eating fat because it's bad for you. And again, somewhere along the line, and I'm not blaming anybody, but somewhere along the line, this woman has been beaten over the head till she 100% believed that any and all fat, every single thing she puts in her mouth that is fat, that has fat content in it, is bad for her. She didn't divide fat into, you know, good fat, bad fat, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Just same as sweeteners, same as carbs, good carbs versus bad carbs. You know, yeah, a slice of, you know, chocolate cake or cheesecake might not be the best choice of carbs for you, you know, but on the other hand, maybe some whole grain rice or pasta or a baked potato might not be such a bad idea, especially if you're about to go work out or you're about to do something where, you know, you need those kind of energetic carbs, and they're slow burning carbs in you. So I'm going to get off my soapbox. That's my little thing. I want to get into what I've been doing right now and the choices that I've been making for my own health. And I've seen progression of sustaining my energy level, progression of being sharp as a tack on my brain, because believe me, over 50 people like me, I need all the help I can get. The worst thing I can do and being a full-time person that works is to be foggy in the brain and forgetful and not really know what I'm doing. So, you know, that was one of my things, excuse me, in life that I was trying to do is, you know, become healthier, keep my weight level at a normal level, keep my energy level at a really good high level, be sharp in my mind, and being able to keep up, you know, keep up with everybody, with my lifestyle, with everything that I need to do. So these are some of the things that I've made changes on. Again, this is me. You do you. This is just me. This is what I've done. If you want to gravitate to making some of these changes yourself or trying them out to see if they help you gain more energy or feel better or not be in so much pain, if you have joint pain or back pain or arthritis, or if you're breaking out or you have some skin issues, you know, maybe incorporate some of this, try it out and see if it might help you or not. So I've taken some notes here, and I'm going to just read you some of the things that I'm doing on each time of the day, and you know, we'll go from there. All right, enough said. All right, so for the mornings, in the past I've had French croissants. I love chocolate croissants. I've had toast. I've had bagels, cream cheese and bagels. These were some of my breakfast choices. I've had, of course, scrambled eggs and all kinds of eggs and omelets and blah, blah, blah. Cereal, I usually stick to the Cascadian Farm cereals, the organic ones. So I haven't been bad with my cereal choices. And basically that's all I have. And I've had as little as just a cup of coffee and been on my way, which is not a good idea. I don't feel that that did me any good to just have a cup of coffee and then run to work. I felt like my energy was lagging by about 10:30 in the morning. And I felt like I would overeat for lunch if I did that. So I realized that I needed more in my body in the morning than just, you know, running out the door with a cup of coffee. Where I started to make the changes was I started to not choose a lot of grains in the morning. So I chose not to go with a bagel. I chose not to go with like a croissant or a pastry. I chose not to go with, one of the other things I really like is banana nut bread, but very high. I actually used to eat the Publix brand muffins, and I love their banana muffins. I absolutely loved their banana muffins. But it didn't love me. I would have such a sugar crash from it, and I came to realize how much sugar they had put in there, and other carbs that they put in there, kind of like the bad carbs, not really the good carbs. And I would literally be so hungry by 10:30, 11 o'clock. The bigger the muffin was, the worse it got for me. So I was trying to avoid that sugar crash. Now, what are the choices that I've been doing? And I have one here. I think I have another one here. The Lara bars are, you know, raw, and they're vegan, and they have fruit and nut in it. So I pick up tons of this every week at like Publix or Kroger or anywhere I am. I love the Lara bars. They're squishy, they're soft, which is what I like. And they're not like you're not going to break a tooth on, you know, some of these protein bars, they're like freaking concrete. You could hit someone over the head and kill them, you know. But this is nice and soft and gooey, and I love it with, again, some coffee, because I'm not going to go without coffee. So that's one. The other one that I've taken here is, and this is organic, it's called the Green Superfood. It's by Amazing Grass, whole fruit, nut, and seed bar. And I'm not sure, this is not, I think there's some milk or other things that could be in it. I don't think this is vegan, but it's definitely a very, very healthy choice. There you go. See that? And do I have my glasses here with me? Hang on a second. Yes, I do. I'm going to go ahead and read you some of these ingredients back here. Dark chocolate sea salt green superfood bar is crafted with the highest quality farm fresh greens, fruits, veggies, nuts, and seeds picked at peak nutrition. Packed with 7 alkalizing greens and nutrient-dense superfoods, this deliciously crunchy bar is a convenient way to feel amazing every day. It's got 11 grams of fat in it. So again, if your fats are bad, you're going to look at this and go, oh, I am not touching this. This is 11 grams of fat. What is she, nuts? Actually, these are one of the best fats you can have because they are from, nuts and good sources of fat. There's 0 trans fat, so you can see, how good that is. There's no trans fat in it. There's a total carb of 22 grams and a dietary fiber of 3 grams. There's 0 cholesterol in here, and 1 bar is 210 calories. There's 10 grams of sugar in here, and I can bet you that's only because of some of the fruits that are in here, the dried fruits. And it's got 30% of your vitamin A, and 8% of your vitamin C, and then 10% of iron. So I love this. This tastes wonderful. I choose it. Okay. I also noticed because of this, I sustain my energy. I sustain it till 12, sometimes 12:30. I forget that, oh, it's lunchtime because I'm in the middle of something at work and I'm working, and I will just keep cruising, keep cruising, keep cruising. My energy will be like this, okay? It's not up and down swinging. It is a nice, sustained, beautiful, relaxed energy. That's what I love. That's what I love. What else do I eat? Periodically, I do have hard-boiled eggs or soft-boiled eggs about once a week. Once or twice a week now, not a lot. They're high in protein, of course, no carbs in them, very little. And they are, again, a good fat, so the yolk is a good fat. In the past, and it's weird to me how, and I'm going to digress for a second because this is important. It's weird to me how some people come on YouTube and comment to me that say, I don't know what you're talking about because so-and-so, who's got a doctor's degree, who's a specialist in blah, 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 has said this is bad or this is good or blah, 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 blah. And I say, as I always say, you do you definitely do your research, definitely talk to doctors or talk to experts or whatever. But don't forget, and this is very profound now, are you listening? Don't forget, in the medieval times and in olden days, the experts said that the earth was flat. The experts said that the sun revolved around the earth instead of the earth revolving around the sun. Okay? The experts said that when you went to the edge of the earth at the horizon, you would fall off into an abyss. The experts and doctors in the 60s, 1960s, all smoked. All smoked in their office, smoked cigarettes. Nobody ever thought that that was a bad thing till later on when they discovered that it was a horrible thing to do, that it was a life-threatening thing to do, and that even secondary smoke will kill somebody, and they'll get lung cancer from secondary smoke, which is now proven. So don't hang your hat, is all I'm saying, on the experts, because expertness changes. As more things evolve and as things come out and light is shed on it and new research is done, the things that were good or bad for you 20, 30 years ago are now shifting over. Cholesterol is horrible. Eggs are horrible. Don't eat the yolks of the eggs, you will die of a heart attack. You will flop over and die. Only eat egg whites. This was done 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 30 years ago, okay? Now, the egg yolks are the best part of the egg. They have nutrition, they have the good fat that you need, they do not pose any threat to bringing up your cholesterol in any shape or form, okay? So who are you going to believe? Where are you going to go with this? You know, I might not be an expert on anything. I think I'm better off not being an expert on anything, because that opens up my mind to research for myself, to ask the right questions, to do something and see how it makes me feel, okay? Carbs. Carbs were bad for you. Low carb diets. Don't eat carbs. Carbs are horrible. It'll make you gain weight. It'll make you keep your weight on. It'll keep you bloated, whatever. Maybe those carbs were not so bad. Maybe it was the gluten in the carbs that was keeping your weight on, making you bloated, making you feel like crap. Now they're starting to come out with all of that theory that it was a gluten or an allergy thing or something else, okay? There's always going to be a shift. There's always going to be a shift. And you're always going to see experts coming on, the talking heads, being on TV or you know, symposiums or whatever, conferences, and you're going to say 100% without a doubt X, Y, and Z does this and this and this and this. And you shouldn't do it. And then 10, 15 years later, they're going to come on, the same experts, same symposiums, the same conventions, and they're going to say, well, according to our findings, blah, 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 blah. And now you can eat all you want, you know. So please do yourself a favor. Don't come on and say, well, such and such says this, and Dr. So-and-so says that, and I'm going with blah, 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 blah. You don't have to. You do you. You know, be an expert to your own body, do what you need to do, eat what you need to eat, and watch your body change. If your body is gaining 10, 15 pounds and you can't pee because your kidneys are going bad, then you've got an issue with whatever change you made. If on the reverse side you try something, you're losing weight, you're becoming much more energetic, your skin is clearing up, your cholesterol is perfectly normal, all your bios are doing great. Think, wow, I made this change. Something happened. I think I made a good choice. This is really good for me right now. So that's all I wanted to tell you. Enough of me rattling. I'm going on and on today. I don't know why. I just love talking to you guys. So anyway, lunch. Let's go into lunch. What am I doing for lunch? Well, I used to do soup. I used to do leftovers from the night before. So if there was a slab of meat, if there was some rice, if there was anything that was left over in the pot, I would put it in my Tupperware, take it to work, warm it up, microwave it, blah, 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 blah. So as many calories as I was eating for dinner, that's what I would take for lunch, okay? Some of the soups are high in sodium. I try to get the lower sodium ones. You know, okay. They're okay. They're not bad. What else did I used to have? I used to go out a lot. I used to go out for lunch. I love my coworkers. Hell yeah, let's go to pizza. Hell yeah, let's go to Chinese, you know? And then I wonder why I'm doing a nosedive into my keyboard at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon where I can't keep my eyes open. And I'm just like, you know, oh my God, I'm so full, you know. What am I doing now? So what am I doing that's different? Well, I'm changing it up. I'm almost going raw vegan for lunch. I'm trying my best. Aside from, my only caveat is to incorporate yogurt, and I'm not. And I think that kind of excommunicates the vegan part, because I'm not doing yogurt, vegan yogurt that's based on soy or almond milk or anything like that. I'm doing whole milk yogurt, and I have a video that I just put up on the reasons I'm doing whole milk yogurt. So you can go watch that. I can put it down below. But I incorporate a lot of fresh fruit now into my lunch, a lot of fresh vegetables. In fact, every week I buy little packets of the little baby carrots. I buy fresh broccoli florets. I buy fresh cauliflower florets. I buy anything that I can use that is fresh and raw that I can put into some light dipping blue cheese or ranch dressing or some other light dressing. I take that for my lunch or my snacks. I'll start snacking. I won't have a formal sit down lunch. I'll just start dipping and taking the baby carrots, putting it in the dressing, eating it, and then keep going back to work and typing at my desk. You know, nothing elaborate. The other thing that I'm incorporating into my diet is fresh tomatoes. And my husband and my son hate tomatoes. And I grew up, of course, being in an Italian family, loving tomatoes. I love tomatoes since I was itty bitty bitty. One of the things I loved to do as a baby, honestly, as a kid, was sucking the seeds out of the tomato. I know it sounds bizarre, but I would take a big chunk, bite out of the tomato, and then I would just suck on it to suck all that flavor and juice out of it. And then I would eat the meat part, you know, later. And I got away from eating a lot of tomatoes because my family just doesn't like tomatoes. So I would just not buy that much, really, because they would go to waste. Well, I made it an effort now. I've figured this out. I make myself a salad of super greens, and you can get that at, you know, Kroger or anything. It has kale in it. It's got spinach in it. It's got a blend. It's like a blend of, it's got arugula, I believe. It's got a blend of greens, and you can get these big tubs. And so, you know, I take a few handfuls out. I put in a smaller Tupperware. I will cut tomatoes on top of that. Every day I will cut a tomato, and then I will put some balsamic vinaigrette with some olive oil. Regular virgin, extra virgin, cold pressed olive oil. A good fat. Not a bad fat, a good fat. And the balsamic vinaigrette that I make from it, or instead of balsamic vinaigrette, you can do vinegar or whatever you call it. You could do some lemon juice. So fresh lemon juice with the olive oil. Put some, I put some pink Himalayan salt in it. I put some pepper on it. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous salad. I look forward to that salad every day now. It's just been incorporated into my habit, and it's part of the routine now for my my lunches. I suck it down. I eat it like it's the best thing in the world. I don't put any meat on it. Again, I'm trying not to do meat except once a day, and I'll get to that in a minute. So these are some of the choices. Then I have the whole milk yogurts. I do have, what is it called? Fage or Faye, F-A-G-E. I love that yogurt. Chobani, I love that yogurt. I've got a couple of the grass-fed ones. I think one is called Stonefield that I'm buying now. Again, really good things that maybe even have honey in it as a sweetener. Stevia is okay with me. I can tolerate it. I cannot tolerate Splenda or any of the artificial sweeteners. I literally get like a cyst. It's really obnoxious, but I do. It breaks me out in all the wrong places. I won't get into detail, but I have a major allergy because of that. I can't really drink even like a Diet Coke or something because of that in it. So, so that's that one. As far as drinking, I'll drink water. I'll drink Dasani, spring water, Perrier. I'll drink the vitamin water. I'll drink the Bahis. What else do I drink? So those kind of things. And I think I've showed you those, in other videos, so I won't get into it. I'm not going to show it to you. I can put it here on next to me, you know, to show you what I've been drinking. That's what I stick with. I do have my coffee in the morning. I try not to drink any coffee after like 4 or 4:30 in the afternoon, you know, so that you can sleep better and just kind of wind down. All right, now getting into dinner, what have I changed? So my dinners have always been either during the week, some sort of takeout. Hubby will bring home Panera. We like Pollo Tropical. That's another place for, you know, good chicken and rice and plantains and things like that. I don't do actual fast food, so you won't see Burger King in my house, McDonald's, those kind of places. I don't even do Subways. I think their food is really bad. Oh, Hobson's about to be losing it. I think my my family's home, so I'm going to stop the video for a second. Hey guys, sorry I'm back. I think it was a false alarm. They were supposed to come in through the door because they're out shopping for groceries, and Hobson started to bark, so that's why I just stopped the video. But anyway, for dinner, these were some of the things that we were bringing home. You know, hubby would stop at a restaurant, pick up something, you know, a pasta dish, an Italian dish, something like that. Sometimes we would cook. He comes home earlier than I do, so he would throw chicken breast, pork chops. What else could he make? Just different things. Linguine with clam sauce sometimes. Things like that. Not bad food. I mean, not bad, and it's not horrendous food. It's not like, oh my God, what was I eating? It's really good food. I mean, it's a wholesome food. I've toned down a little bit on the meat overall. So if I'm doing meat, I'll do like a chicken breast, or I'll do or a fish, a very light fish. I'll steam some of my fish now. I try not to, you know, deep fry it, or I will bake it with some panko breadcrumbs on the top. That's wonderful. Oh my gosh, salmon with panko on it. Fabulous, fabulous. I've done a video on that as well. And I think a number of YouTubers have done videos similar to that about fish with panko breading on it. Absolutely delectable. I try to steam some veggies now. I've bought the Instant Pot, so I find that steaming veggies now for dinner is a lot less arduous than it used to be. You basically put it in the pot, put some water in it, it comes to pressure, and literally, like my broccoli, the other night I made a vat, you know, the Instapot is like 6 quarts of broccoli. It came to pressure in about 7 minutes. It took 1 minute to actually steam, and then you did a quick release of the valve on the top, and I had perfectly cooked broccoli, gorgeous for dinner. I also did corn on the cob one night, where fresh corn, I went to Kroger, I shucked it myself, I took all the stuff off of it, brought it home, put it in the Instapot. Literally, I think it was on pressure for about 3 or 4 minutes, not more than that. Perfectly cooked corn on the cob. Makes life so much easier to cook your veggies very quickly if you're going to do this type of lifestyle. As far as the meat, what did I have? Like I said, very light on the meat, and yeah, things like that. I don't elaborate too much. I don't have dessert. I don't have cakes. My dessert is fresh fruit if I want to. I'll put a little cup of yogurt with some fresh strawberries on top as a dessert. That's about what I'll do. You know, again, it's just my choice. I don't crave the sugar. I've never been a sweet tooth type of person. I've been much more of a savory or spicy type of person as far as my taste is concerned. I think I'm lucky in that respect, because I think a lot of people that battle weight issues do have this inherent need and urge for a sweet taste in their mouth, and then they, you know, because they don't do a natural sweet item, you know, fruit of some nature, they resort to processed sugar and sweeteners and things like that. So I'm trying to think what else. For snacks, again, I'll have a little chocolate every now and then, bittersweet chocolate. I'll have my teas at night with honey in it. I'll have, if I'm hungry, I'll even grab like some sardines or something. I know it sounds bizarre, but that's kind of like what I eat. But sandwiches, let's just say I'll have it on whole wheat. I'm trying to avoid a lot of processed deli. That's another thing I'm trying to avoid. If I do see like cold cuts or anything like that, they'll be the fresh turkey breast or the fresh chicken breast cut like a boar's head. Very minimal processed ingredients in it. Fresh, roast beef or anything like that. And then just very minimal on the spices, a little mustard maybe, some mayo here and there if I want. Just very light on the condiments. And I've noticed, now what have I noticed? I've noticed that my energy has been in a really nice sustained range. I've noticed a much more of an alertness overall in my mind. A lot of get up and go in the morning. I'm sleeping like a rock. Now there's other things I'm going to be discussing about having in my room that I'll put up a video on, and that's the pink Himalayan salt lamp that I've got. But I've just been sleeping very well. I'm not moody. I have never been really moody, but I'm not moody. I'm not irritable. I'm not hungry all the time. I think half the reason a lot of people give up on their diets or what they perceive to be a weight loss program is because they're not getting enough nutrients in the right times, in the right amounts, and they get very cranky. I know when my husband was, for example, his big thing to lose weight in the old days was to buy a bunch of lean cuisine and the Weight Watchers frozen foods. I eat no frozen foods, by the way, zero as far as processed frozen foods. I've given that up years and years ago, but he still indulges. He buys frozen foods because he tells me, well, it's just so convenient to bring it to work. What am I going to do? I bring it to work. Well, let me just tell you, high in sodium, high in the bad fats, processed, you name it, And then he wondered why he wasn't losing any weight. He used to eat frozen foods all the time. And he was a little chunky monkey. He really was. And he couldn't understand why. And I said, because, you're eating this junk and it's keeping your weight on. He is not eating this anymore. He's eating very light. He'll have, maybe once a week, but not to the amount that he used to have. And I can tell you that he has dropped over 35 pounds. He's a little bitty thing now. He's got a lot of energy. Thank God his blood workup is perfect. He's on blood pressure medication because he's just genetically like that, but a lot better than he used to be. His cholesterol is fine. Everything is great. Like I said, I have not done frozen food for years. I will do only fresh food, or cook the night before, and I take it in my Tupperware. What else have I changed? Sodas I haven't done in years. So if I'm extremely stressed out and I don't have anything else available at work, and making a deadline, I need a little perk, I will grab a Coke every once in a while. Okay, I'm not going to beat myself over it. I'm not, It's just the way it is. I do like it. I do like the flavor. I admit it. I do like the flavor. I'm not going to go to like a Dairy Queen. I'm not going to go to, you know, Brewster's. I'm not going to go to, I don't know, any of these places. And for myself, I've gotten the energy, I've sustained my weight the way it's supposed to be. I lost, at one point I was up there. I've lost about 25 pounds from a number of years ago. From the time where I was eating the banana muffins and doing the frozen foods and takeout orders and all of that. I think 25 pounds, and I haven't. What's the word I'm looking for? I didn't strain myself in losing the weight. It just came off naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have to plot and plan and do 30 days of this and this diet, eliminate these whole food segments out of my life. I didn't really have to worry about it. As long as I stuck to doing these core values, so to speak, of what I wanted to eat, I was fine. I do not watch my calorie intake. I do not measure. I do not count points. I do not weigh my food. I do not eat at certain times or refrain from eating at certain times. I know some people believe a lot in the intermittent fasting. I'm not one of those people. I think your blood sugar drops, and again, you get moody, irritable. Some people can do it. If you don't have a blood sugar issue, if you're not a diabetic, I'm not a diabetic. I don't have a blood sugar issue in that formal sense of the word, but I know my body does not behave well when it doesn't have sustained fuel at a nice pace. I think a lot of people are in that mode where they believe if they, you know, don't eat for 18 hours, that they'll lose weight. No, I don't think that you will. You know, I think that you'll be irritable, and it's not a way to live, honestly, guys. You want to go around life being irritable all the time and snappy and have low energy and not be able to sustain anything because you're damn determined to, you know, not eat for 18 hours every day. It's not my lifestyle. I'll eat what I want, when I want, as much as I want, and if you're eating the right foods, you will get full. You will be, you won't be bad full, you know, that bloated feeling. You'll be a relaxed full. I can't explain this, but you'll be satiated and you won't dwell on food. Believe me, once you eat the way you're supposed to eat and your body is supposed to eat, you're going to take food out of your mind and obsession, okay? You're not going to dwell on, oh my God, I have to eat now because it's 2:30 and now I had my carbs, so therefore now I have to have my protein and I have to have at least 6 ounces of protein. I'm watching the clock here. And then because I have my protein now, then for dinner I have to have such and such. I mean, if I had to dwell on and obsess about my food and my portions and my chemical balances of where to eat what and how, and I would drive myself crazy. That's just the truth, guys. I would drive myself absolutely bonkers, and I think I would make everyone's life around me pretty miserable, you know. Not to mention the social aspect of it. Food is here as a glory, and when you sit down with your family and you eat food, it's supposed to be a pleasurable activity. It's a way to connect with your family. At the end of the day, I love to sit down and have my meal with my family. We make it a point not to have the TV on. We make it a point, we have mellow music on the background. I'll put on, you know, Pandora, and I'll put on some, you know, easy listening music. We'll dim the lights. We'll have candles. We make it a really uplifting experience. We're not running around like a crazy nut. I'm not throwing food on the table. I don't have one person in this room, the other person in the other room watching TV or on their computers or whatever as they're stuffing their face. If you choose to do that, and again, I say you do you. If you choose to do that, you're not going to be aware of what you're eating or putting in your mouth because you're absent-mindedly watching a movie or watching a TV series or whatever, and you're just shoving it in your mouth, just shoving it in your mouth. You're not going to be interacting with your significant others, catching up on the day with your kids. How was your day? How was school? How was this? How was that? It's just going to be rigmarole. My finishing comments and just the whole environment of how you should be eating your food, not dwelling about specifics of your food, and basically take the stress off the table. Literally take the stress off the table, because a lot of people honestly almost have PTSD from food, from looking at food, and you can't get away from it because you're going to see it every day. It's your sustenance. It is what keeps you alive. And they always say it's one of the hardest addictions to deal with because you have to have food to eat. You can't just walk away from food entirely and then never think of it again. So you have to come to a good space and a good relationship between you and food. Use what you can, use the positive elements of food, and you know, just make peace with food. Seriously, just make peace with food. So that's my ending comments, guys. I'm sorry it was a little bit too long in the tooth here, but I really felt like I needed to think about this, and I needed to think about what I wanted to convey and the message that I wanted to convey to you guys. Again, I am not about, you know, shaming anybody or putting anybody down for how they choose to, you know, eat and their lifestyle or anything like that. I just want to give you the best possible choices, and I want to let you know what I'm doing and what I'm discovering along the way, because it's a discovery and it's a journey for me as well as for you. The reason I'm here and the reason that I'm putting up these videos is so that we have this journey together. And if something happens in my journey and I eat something or experience something, the good, the bad, the ugly, it's going to be out there, because I'm going to tell you, oh man, I had this horrible experience with such and such, you know, or man, you just got to get this because this is the best thing since sliced bread. So I'm going to definitely let you guys know honestly my opinions about so many things, and you know, I appreciate it. Please leave me your comments below and give it a thumbs up, please, and subscribe, because I put up a lot of these videos at least twice a week on, you know, these various topics. Tonight I'm going to try to put up my Instapot, and I'm going to video the jasmine rice being cooked, so look forward to that coming up your way in the next week or so. And that's it. We'll go on our merry way and do our things. Blessings to all. I love you all very much. I sincerely mean that, and thank you so much for encouraging me and being around. All post 1,000 subscribers now. It's amazing that it's climbing, and you guys are tuning in. So that's the greatest thing. You know, you're voting by tuning in and by watching me, and that's all I can ask out of life. Thank you all. Love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.